Alrighty, day 5 chemotherapy of BDP chemotherapy is done today. 5 out of 7 days of a cycle in 21 days are done. I have 2 bleomycin schedules, which take less than an hour in this one Monday coming up, and then the following Monday, which is the most break time I'll get in these next 16 days, which is better than 5 days in a row, but that's what things look like. And I have they're going to be giving me a white blood cell, some type of shot. A little obviously weary anytime I hear them say anything that just involves, but it's to try to stimulate my bone marrow and my white blood cells in my bone marrow. They either do it in the arm, which I'll probably ask them to do it in my hip or my abdominal wall area. Not sure exactly yet. So yeah, today, done with day 5. I feel like I had to pick me up, just knowing that I'm not going to be there, early in the morning. Doing it 5 days in a row has been, I think mentally, emotionally, it's been the most exhaustive part of it. Is I'm not built for waking up at 6 o'clock every day in the morning. I'm sure it'd be more built if I wasn't going through this specific situation to do that. But right now my schedule usually is like, been getting to bed at 12, which is great for me in the past, 11, 12 o'clock, and then waking up at 7 or 8. So this whole 6 o'clock thing is insane to me. So a little rough there, but other than that process, feeling grateful to have a 48 plus hour break here, like a 60, 70 hour break until Monday. I will be there tomorrow at the hospital to get my white blood cell injection to try to stimulate my bone marrow, I guess. That's how they explain it. The lady, I had my nurse today, was very kind. I had prayers answered for sure. I asked the Lord if he'd give me a favor and grace with the pharmacist and my doctor who let me not take, they have me on 3, or their golden standard, which I explained yesterday, that they, this recommended dose they give every patient that takes BEP, is to give them 3 medications. And I asked the Lord for grace and mercy and favor to that they would be flexible and have me not take one of those 3. It's called Zofran. And what I looked up is that the Zofran medication also can increase the toxicity load on the body by a certain percentage. And so those pre-meds are just, they say it's there for, so the body doesn't struggle to vomit, or it basically suppresses things, which is, the hospitals are always great at suppressing things. They're not really good at healing anything. They're just good at suppressing, which is just a theme that you'll find if you're in this space for a long time, or for a while. But my nurse Heather was really kind. She was probably in her 50s maybe, had a family, but she advocated for me and talked to the doctor and the pharmacist that said, hey, we can try this, see how you feel. And I was actually genuinely shocked that I was expecting them to not to say, hey, sorry, we're just going to do it. And because that's usually the vibe in these places. They don't see everybody as individuals. They see everybody as the same. And I would say, when they call it prevention, I would say when hospitals are, if you hear anything about prevention in a hospital, there's a high chance that it's not really prevention. It's usually that preventative thing is causing other problems by preventing whatever they think could happen or might happen. So that's just the kind of, in my experience, the general rule of thumb, is most places anyone will go. It's if you hear oh, look at that, they're trying to be preventative, but that's not their that's not the actual game plan they have anywhere usually. So you just kind of remember that, okay, like, well, wait, you're preventing something that you think could happen, but wait a second, oh, this, by giving me these meds, you can also create other problems that you don't actually can prove that these things will happen with every single person that go, so anyway, I'm not really gonna, I dived into that last video. So yeah, so today, really grateful. Last night I had some hiccups. Might sound a bit odd or like easy, but had a hiccup reflex. Looked up online, researched to try to figure out what that response could have been, because my best guess was, from what I read, is that the cisplatin and the etoposide that I've been taking 4 days now in a row, with obviously I'm taking other stuff to try to reduce side effects and the toxicity load in my body, as much as humanly possible, that just walking this tightrope, trying to figure out how to do that. But as I'm doing that, the hiccups went away really quickly. Happened on Wednesday night as well. Like, it started on Wednesdays when I noticed it, but I didn't do anything because I wasn't sure exactly what to do. And then had a bit of last night, before the evening, around 8-9 o'clock, started having like kind of a heat sensation in my chest, like right here. Almost kind of felt like an acid reflux at first, but wasn't really that. And so I wasn't sure. I was asking God, I'm like, okay, Lord, like, what, help me understand what my body's trying to tell me. Like, what should I do? Help me hear what Lord, what it is should I do to help myself. So I looked up some stuff, used a certain tool that has been a really big game changer to help me understand, just try to dig deeper and stuff and try different things. So looked into that a bit, and then found a couple ways to mitigate it really practically, and then the hiccups went away immediately. Just putting my my chest to my knees, and that was a big thing. But then to get the heat, so that helped with the hiccups, helped my diaphragm and my chest from spasming. But basically, then I learned that to get the heat that was starting to come in my chest and throat was, I took apple cider vinegar, and I took gargled apple cider vinegar with warm salt water, gargled that for 3 or 4 minutes on and off, and then also had some aloe vera juice, some organic aloe vera juice, and I just took about 1 or 2 ounces at most, and just let it swish in my mouth a little bit, and then just I think I put like a tiny bit of water in it. I think I'm supposed to dilute a little bit more, but I put a little bit of that, just kind of like slowly, like, let it kind of drain on my throat and everything. So I did that night yesterday, and it all went away. So any discomfort that I was noticing just all seemed to recover and get better. And all natural stuff, guys. No it's the medical system, they don't know, they just don't know stuff, and they're just trained to do certain things. And I've already said that in the last video, but so many things that God has made to help my body, your body, my body, to work through stuff that doesn't have to sacrifice. And this is a theme I'm noticing, which is interesting, because it kind of makes me think of my past trauma with my parents' divorce a little bit. This sort of theme I won't go into, but basically the idea is that, like, what I noticed in the hospital is that one thing I noticed as a theme in a hospital right now, where I'm at, is not everyone, but most people there are in this mindset where, hey guys, we need to give you this, and this is our priority, and even if we have to sacrifice these other good things so you can have this other thing that's good, we should do that, or that's the only way to go. And I go into some other day about how that theme really pops up in my life personally, but in the past. But I think it's interesting to notice it here in the hospital. It's like, oh, like, guys, why do you guys all think that to have this one thing that's good, we have to sacrifice all the other good things to have this one good thing also? So, like, we have to choose, I have to choose between, do I want this good thing? Do I want my white red blood cells to, do I want all the fast growing cells in my body to also be destroyed? Kind of like you're just randomly shooting around, finding all the stuff. Should we sacrifice that so we can also kill the cancer? Like, so kind of the method and the modalities that they have is kind of that theme of like, they take this approach like it's like a normal thing to think like, well, there's no other way, or which that's what they'll think or tell you. The ideology that they'll give to you is that there's no other way. The only way to go is to destroy something good so you can have this other thing that's good. And it's like, I know that's not God. In terms of like the heart behind that, the idea of that. So there's sacrifice, but not, yeah, so I don't want to get into that right now, but it's just something I'm noticing being there for, in the trenches, so to speak, of just sitting there, being there with my family and talking to people, listening to stories a little bit, ask people, how they get in these businesses or how they get in this field that they're doing. And most people there are very nice and probably need to be, or else they're not going to be nurses there, because no one wants to work with difficult people in the medical world already. It's already difficult. So but yeah, so side effects and stuff. Didn't take the Zofran, so I feel really grateful to that my body can be dealing with less toxicity today than it would be the past 4 days, because they were giving me all 3 pre-medications, which felt like completely overkill. So I feel grateful to know that I felt like my prayer got answered in that moment of my nurse saying, hey, like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll check in with you, and I have 0 stomach issues right now. But I'm just asking, like, Lord, please surprise me, surprise the doctors, surprise these nurses, to be like, not everybody's the same. Not everybody. I just can't believe that my pre-meds or whatever it is for this BP, and no discretion. They say, we don't care if you're 28 and you're a bodybuilder and you're whatever. We don't care if you're 65 and frail and smoked and drank, and it doesn't matter. We're just going to give you this thing because that's what we're going to do. And that's not that. There's nothing about the philosophy of that or the ideology of that approach that says, we look at you 28-year-old male and we look at you 65-year-old woman, frail, or man, frail. Like, they don't look at those people differently. They look at them exactly the same when it comes to what they give. Two men could have testicular cancer, and they're going to give the exact same thing to both of those men. That's absolute nonsense. So there's just some more thoughts about that there, but grateful to be on my walk and get half of it in and update everybody that will eventually get to, whoever gets to listen to this, great. Get a little brief insight to the moment of these couple days. But yeah, so I'm trying to think of anything else. I just posted on Facebook about yesterday. I didn't post yesterday, but I got my working out in. Always feel 1,000 times better when I come out here and out of hospital and not looking at anything hospital related. Nothing that smells or looks like a hospital. It's fantastic. Trying to think of anything else for the next minute to share. My veins, my arm, I used my right arm twice for this week and my left arm 3 times. So prayer request would be for my veins and stuff, like to make sure that my body's rebounding and safely, and then no side effects obviously these next through this first 21 days. My left, I can tell my left is just a bit sore because they poked basically in the same place, almost like within like less than about an inch of space on my left vein, my arm, my forearm. They they're telling me like, oh, you got great veins, like, these are wonderful. It's like, oh, thanks. Reminds me of the thing about being at the dentist, like, oh, you got great teeth, and wow, look at that, thank you. So they're like, they poked me in with about an inch of space, all three of those. So today I've noticed definitely a soreness a bit, probably like a 4 or 5 out of 10 just on that area. So I'm a little nervous about just that part of my veins and just recovering well enough for, any other potential spot, I don't know if I'll try to use that exact spot. We'll see. Here in the next 2 weeks, I only have 2 infusions for this next 2 weeks, thank God. And just recovering, have stuff to do off chemo days, of things to do. Need the Lord's wisdom and grace. So please be praying, everyone, about how the Lord to lead me, how to reach out, how to ask for help, how to look up His wisdom and revelation, how to look up for these different things and answers, and how to walk this whole process out, because it's been now 5 days of actually doing it. So so I essentially have 21 days of infusions over a period of 63 days. But yeah, so that's kind of the trajectory. If they, that's how it actually, if that's how it goes, that's kind of what they have planned. But the Lord's the master physician and the one who knows my future more than anyone else. And so I'm trying to walk it out one day at a time here, and try to be open to how to go about that process. So very tight rope. Kind of feels like I'm in a rushing water river, and every decision I make, it feels like it's just, the steps are very cautious. It's like, okay, I think this is what I'm gonna do, and it's like it's like a rushing river where you're trying to stand in it, and you're trying to move one step at a time. But as you're stepping, it's like, oh, there's like, every step is very slippery, and like the rocks are full of moss, and so I can't just like casually step. I have to like really make sure every single time I plant my foot, it's like, it's all good. Like, I'm okay, it's stable. Does it look good? Can I like stand here without like falling on my face and getting carried off by the rushing waters that I'm in, trying to wade through these waters? It's kind of like that. So yeah, so anyway, guys, I guess it's all for now, and please send me messages, questions, how to pray or how to get involved, if you'd like to still get involved. Trying to keep up with this whole GoFundMe thing, try to keep it going. Still very useful and helpful for me and my family to reduce the financial burden, and just also future prevention just for this year of just things to I'm still be doing here the next several months after chemo ends, that can be done to mitigate and prevent, and this stuff to never come back in my life. So anyway, still in it, but yeah, today was a victory in other ways, not just because the chemo happened, but other stuff that's important to me as well. So anyway, that's all I'll share for now, and I'll talk with you guys another day here. All right, later. Lord be with you.